I met Sade at ADHA in California this past, was that November? And we talked for a little bit, and she let me know that that is one of her passions, to be able to encourage and elevate other clinicians to do what she currently is doing, own her own dental hygiene practice and thrive in that, and also to motivate all of us to be able to think what could be if we just looked at all the logistics and go, okay, is this something that I want to do? And so that's why we collaborated and said, hey, I think this would be a wonderful thing to just open that can of worms for people to start thinking and going, this could be something that I actually want to do. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Sade so we can get started.
What's up, everybody? Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sade. If you don't already know me, some of you already do. I'm an RDHAP here in Southern California. And yeah, just like she was saying, I met her last year at ADHA. And you know what, guys? It's 2026. Every year, it seems like there's something new that's coming up and against hygiene. But I really want to give you guys encouragement that this is what growing pains change like, right? This is when a profession is evolving. It doesn't mean we're ending or dying. Dental hygiene is not going anywhere because there's always going to be a need for it. But in the future, I do think it's going to look quite different. I've done a lot of research on how nurse practitioners had evolved to become the independent practitioners they are today. And I do see that for a future for hygienists. So be positive, stay optimistic, and get involved. That's one of the most important things I can tell you is to get involved with legislator and owning your profession. This is no one's going to do it for you, right? And I feel like I have to say these things because a lot of people, they join associations and they're like, well, now what? What are they going to do? They're not going to do anything. A lot of them are just doing the same things they've always done. A lot of them are a lot older than us and they're not sure what to do. So if you see something that needs to be done, sign up and do it. Let's make it happen. We can only do it if we work together. I just wanted to kind of get that spiel out of the way because I know it can be very discouraging when you hear about assistants or you hear about dentists, but you know what? At the end of the day, they still cannot do what we can do. Patients are still asking for us, and hygiene is just a wonderful, amazing thing. And I'm just so happy and excited to be a part of this community. And I'm so glad that you guys, are tuning in and finding out, like, well, what does this look like? So I'm just gonna give you just a little quick spin of my office. So here's my room. This is my room. I built it. I have a lot of pride in it. I put my wall up. I put these stripes up. Here's some of the most important things in my room. These are the things that allow me to work as an independent hygienist. So things are different in every state, but every state could take notes, right? So I'm here in California. And sorry, I am hot. I am sweating up in here. Here in the state of California to work as a registered dental hygienist in alternative practice, you do need to get an extra license. That's right. We got two of them to work here. We got a regular license and we have an AP license that we have to keep up to date every 2 years. And that's all right. I'll do anything besides work for a dentist. Okay. So if I got to get two, if I have to get three licenses, I'm going to do what I need to do to not be stuck being held hostage in an office all day. But anyway, so you need to at least have a bachelor's or equivalent. You need to have so many hours. I want to say it was when I did mine, and it's been quite a few years already. It was like 6,000 hours. It was equivalent to three years plus as a hygienist. So you've already had to be working as a hygienist, to be licensed as a hygienist, to you could simultaneously, if getting your bachelor's and wanting to finish the AP program, you could also do it simultaneously, but you have to finish your bachelor's before applying for the AP. So you had to finish it to be able to turn in your license information on time. And that's it. Obviously, staying up to date with your CEs. That's all it takes here in the state of California. Salon. Someone's asking me, this is your suite a salon? So what I'll do is I will will keep questions towards the end, if that's okay. This is a salon. I own the building, and then the spaces, well, obviously I lease from a leasing agent, and then this is my office. Okay. If you guys, we can walk and talk and I can keep it moving. But yeah, so here in the state of California, you do have those, you just need those requirements before becoming an RDHAP. You do take one more test. You're going to take a law and ethic test. You get passed, and now once you get licensed, you can start working. Most RDHAPs start off mobile. I'm still mobile. The goal and the key to this license is to help those in need. We help people that have disabilities, seniors, people with strokes. We're going to live senior homes, living centers. We go to schools. We help people even that have an anxiety to go to the dentist. Everybody needs help. Okay. So everybody can benefit from a hygienist. And that's where we usually work and start off. Now, if you guys want to venture off and open your own practice like me, you have to, for now, and these are other things I'm looking into, but for now, you have to work in a designated area. And what that means, I'm just making sure if I'm reading it. Okay, good. So in order for your area to be designated, and here's my address on the map, and it has that nice green check next to dental shortage. Took me a year and a half to get this area designated, but it doesn't mean that I'm working in an area where there's a bunch of tumbleweeds or something. It just means there's a shortage of dentists in this area that are willing to provide preventative care services to the community. There's just not enough of them. And how I was able to find out that information is calling these offices directly, acting like a patient and being like, oh, do you take Medi-Cal? Do you take Medi-Cal? And a lot of them, no, 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 pushing out people for months. I could gather that information and presented it to the board in an Excel spreadsheet, showing them, look at this huge gap. This is a desert. Not a well, it is a desert. I'm in Southern California, let's be real. But it's a desert because there's a lack of dentists that are willing to help those who need it the most. They're here, they're just not willing to see these people. And so that's what opens up the need for a dental hygienist and alternative practice. So once your area is verified and cleared, you can check the website to see if it's cleared, and then you send it to the board and they will give you the green light if you could even open in that area. So that's something that I wanted to do. I wanted to work. I seen the need. There's a need everywhere. So that tells me almost everywhere needs to be designated. There's a shortage, right? If there's a shortage, then open up every space for hygienists to work and open their own practice if they want to do that. So that's what it takes here in the state of California. In Colorado, you do not have those hurdles. You guys can get started right away, okay? You guys got that golden key. You don't have to be doing all these extra things, going back to school 2 more times. You don't have to do none of that. You're a hygienist. You're already skilled, licensed, professional. Put it this way, think about estheticians, which actually I'm in the process of becoming an esthetician because I actually have an esthetician room right over here. It's a little messy right now because I have all this dental stuff and I'm organizing, but I have an esthetician room, and in this room has a head spa, and it's for I have the girl that rents it. She is actually a massage therapist and a cosmetologist, and so this room she's able to provide her services. This office is I'm trying to think of the word, but basically before I took over this office, it was zoned for beauty and hair, and so that's why we're able to have multiple different kind of people that could provide services in here. So that's what I want to do because I see that she didn't have to do any extra things. She just was able to go to school, open her practice. She's able to provide facials to people. There's no dermatologist hanging around her, right? So anyway, hygienists could do the same. It's just proving that and showing the need for that. I'm in my second hygiene room. These girls are into, I don't know what's the theme. They want it to be kind of like this Tuscany Italian theme. It's whatever they want to do. I'm nobody's boss. So here in the state of California, as an RDHAP, you can work independently. You do not need to be a W-9 unless you want to. If you want to keep working, you can keep working. You can work on the side. You can do whatever you want with that extra license. license. I like to be 1099 when I go and I make contracts with places, because I like to itemize everything when I do my taxes. So I prefer 1099, but that's for another day. Anyway, I lease space to these four hygienists. They do what they want in this room. Because I'm not their boss, there is no W-2 involved. They come and go as they please. They make their own schedule. I do provide obviously the room for them. I provide the equipment for them, the lights, I pay for Netflix, things like that. But they're their own boss. They make their own schedule. And that's kind of the direction of hygiene, right? You should be able to provide these services to the people that need it most. So I want to make sure that I'm jumping in and I'm answering, because I know that we did have a lot of questions. Let me go get the list. I had printed it and then I
I
left.
love it. Well, while you're looking at the list, I have a little bit of the list here, because I think there were some Colorado specific questions. So I want to make sure that while you're looking for that, if I need to answer that or if you
You know
already
what? And I had
info.
printed it, but then I left. I had to drop off my kids. You guys, I am a mom like you, some of you as well. Like, these kids run me ragged, but that's why I really enjoy being an AP, because I have the flexibility. So definitely, I don't know. I have the list up.
Oh,
I could
perfect.
start going through it. And at the end, when you guys have the questions, go ahead and put it in there. And if I don't answer it, you guys can reach me afterwards. On my inbox is always open to anybody, anytime. I'm always up, so around the clock. Okay, so should all patients have a dental exam once a year? Yes, they should. So let's go through that. In order for me to work the way I do have to have a relationship with a general dentist. And that relationship requires me to send my patients to them for restorative care and checkups, right? So the patient should be going to see the dentist at least every 18 months. That is that is part of the contract. Now I'm going to be honest, because that's how I am and I'm very transparent. If I have a 90-year-old patient that I'm seeing that's homebound, I'm verbally letting her know, hey, I'm just letting you know I am your hygienist. I'm here to provide all the preventative care services to you. This doesn't take the place of a dentist or getting checkups or getting any restorative care. Just so you know, I'm covering myself by letting them know. She's 90. I don't even know if she heard it, but I am letting her know that. Do you think she's seeing the dentist? So I think a lot of these rules, they are for you to understand and to encompass, for everybody to know how you're supposed to be working as a hygienist. But I'm telling you, that 90-year-old, she's not going to see him ever again.
Right.
Okay. She's homebound. That's why she's there. And they have dementia. I'm there to make her comfortable and make her feel human again. But yes, that is part of our license. And so I do have a form. I keep it on me. And that is part of it, is that you are sending these patients to the dentist for their restorative care, for their checkups. Can we take x-rays here? Yes, we can. I don't usually, if I don't really need to, I'm not doing it. I don't want to do anything extra if I don't have to. If I have to do it, or if I feel like somebody needs it, I'm going to do it. But a lot of my patients, I'm sending them to the dentist for their checkup, for their x-rays, for restorative care. They come right back to me so that I can expedite their appointment and do what I do love best. And what I do best is do the hygiene and do their cleanings. That's what I do most of the time. Okay, let's make
Can I
sure.
pop in there real quick? So,
Yes.
anyone here in Colorado, so full disclosure, we have a couple of Colorado hygienists on here that actually do own their own practice, and I'm in the works of, opening my own practice. This is a news
Yes.
flash, not everyone knows yet, but in our state, we don't have red tape like Sade does in California. We can see our patients if they have not had a exam. You can recommend them to go have it, but you can't force them to. We don't have to do that prior to seeing them, because we are allowed to do a dental hygiene exam, and then we also are able to diagnose perio here, and we're also able to diagnose well, we don't technically diagnose. We let them know that there are things that need to be viewed as caries so that they go and see their dentist. So each of us, yes, like Mary is saying that. Mary is talking about, we have a collaborative agreement with the dentist. So we do work with the dentist and they know what we're doing in the space. We recommend that they go see for an exam, but that is on them.
I would agree. Yeah, too. Same thing. My dentist, if my patient already has their own dentist, if they're already going somewhere else, they're not obligated to follow up with my referring dentist. It's just something that we have that collaborative relationship, and it lets them know. And if anything, it streamlines the relationship because if anything, all these patients that I've already talked to and let them know if I've seen something, I've educated them on it, they're going to go do it. Right. And so this is frees time for the dentist. They're doing more things that they need to do, like restorative care. That's what they do best. And then it lets me do what I do. But yeah, that's one of the things is we do have to have a referring dentist on file. I have multiple. I actually have three, and they're all really chill. They're not worried about what I'm doing. Early on, like the way we work collaboratively is you are making your dental hygiene comprehension evaluation, as you know, because we don't diagnose. Okay, but anyway, that's what we do. We make our recommendations and then we render the service. And keeping your patient's notes, that's the most important part. I have teledentics, and that's where I keep all my notes. If I needed to collaborate and communicate with my dentist, that's where it would be within my notes, which is legally bind information, and that's safe in the computer. And that program, the teledentics, is probably the most affordable for a mobile or a portable independent hygienist like myself. It's about $140 to $160 a month. But you know what? If I do two cleanings, I cover that, right? So yes, those are the stipulations with working by yourself independently. Is you do have to have that relationship. Okay, equipment. People want to know about my equipment. Like I bought my Aseptico when I first got it online at aseptico.com. It was $6,000. It was a great investment. It works really well. And then I bought these. I bought this. This is a universal. It's a beauty chair. The reason why I didn't buy a dental chair is I want everything to be mobile and portable. I do not need to have all this extra plumbing. We're hygienists, and that's one thing I'm going to tell you so that you could be successful whatever state that you're in. Do not think that you're gonna run your business like a dental office. This is where like a lot of hygienists they get stuck and they get frozen. They're like, oh my God, okay, I need to buy this. I need to buy this x-ray machine and all these things. No, you don't. You're not doing all that, okay? You're doing cleanings, okay? This is the things that we need. Okay, we need our bib, we need our mask, we need our my favorite set. I have a lot of instruments. Maybe I'll turn it around so I can show you. You need this. You just need your setup, okay? You need your setup. So I have a lot of sets, maybe 6 to 10 sets of my favorite instruments. You need a portable unit. This one is a flat top one. And this one I just kind of have it so you can see I have it set up. But this is all you need. You do need your eye goggles. You want to make sure to protect the patient. Some people, believe it or not, they're not, they don't put the goggles. And the thing is, that's probably the most important thing. We're not doing extractions, we're not pulling teeth, but we need to protect the eyes. If anything, we don't want nothing to fall, right? So that's what you need. You need your sections, you need your slow speed. I have a portable one too. You need whatever you need to be a hygienist. Now, what I would say was really hard for me starting off is it's like, okay, I got this license, I got this independence. Now what? What do I do with all this? And the first thing is you need to run a business. You need to have your EIN, you need to be set up as a sole proprietor. You need to open up a business account. You need to have a Square account. You think about the steps that you're taking to do business. So I have my compliance forms. And the thing that I think that helped me a lot, and it took a few years, is why am I trying to take insurance? Like, why? Why am I trying to take insurance? So, here's some things with the insurance. Yes, we can take the insurance. Is there a lot of hurdles and headaches with it? Yes, there is. Some of the insurances, they don't even know what the heck is a hygienist trying to process a claim, right? So, a lot of times they want to decline us or they don't want to pay us for our service. So, everybody, I am mostly fee for service, okay? It took me a lot of years to work out the kinks, but this is the best way to do your business. These people go get their eyelashes done. They go next door to my girl. They go get facials. They pay $164 for her Fruity facial so they can pay for their cleaning. I educate them enough. I encourage them why this is my fee because I'm a specialist. I'm giving them a specialized treatment. I'm giving them specialized care. hypothetically, okay, if my cleaning is 125 and say they say, will you take my insurance? It's Aetna. And I'm like, us hygienists, we're very timid, we're passive, and everybody thinks we're Mother Teresa. So we're supposed to be like, yes, yes, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it for free. No, we're not doing it for free. Okay. So do I take your insurance? And or starting off, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'll take it. Here I am filling out, making sure. Then he's not giving me his correct number. You need to know his card number, his social. Sometimes you need to have it, his birthday. So here I am, just trying to sweat, making sure I'm getting all the right information. I have a PPO. Okay, yeah, for sure. I want to take the PPO. Okay, I'm processing the claim. I have to make sure I call Aetna. I'm out of network with all these insurances, mind you, because if you're in network, then you are subjected to whatever the low fee they want to give you for the cleaning. It could be $13. It could be $40. Are you in business to do that? I'm gonna tell you, you have to change your mind. You're a business person now. So you can't run a business like that. No, no, no. So now if someone's like, oh, okay, I have Aetna, I have a PPO. Because before I turned in that claim, my fee was 125. You know what they gave me? They sent me a check for $45. That didn't cover my anything that I set up for that day. So now this is what I do, and I'm gonna share it with you guys. First, you get their consent. And I hope this covers some of the questions. I'll go back in it, but I feel like this is very important and successful for business. First, you get their signature. They give you consent to clean their teeth today. That is the biggest thing. I have a liability insurance. I have malpractice insurance. You're going to need to carry that when you're working on people. Okay. And then, you have an intake form. You want to know what the heck do they got going on? I'm going to be honest. If you come in my door and you said that you had some kind of surgery not so long ago, you're limping, you have chest pain, guess what? I'm going to send you to the medical school. I'm going to send you to the dental school. And it's just a nice way, like you want to like let them know, you know what, here at my office I might not have all the things that you require, so I'd like you to be in a space that would be a little bit more accommodating for you, right? That's what you need to do. You have to set yourself up for success. So you have someone coming in here hobbling, holding onto their chest, they got some medical issues, you might need to send them somewhere where they could get a little bit more specialized care. After you do that, and they do say like, oh, I have Aetna PPO, I let them know. I don't memorize all the fees all the time, but I'm starting to get used to it. What I do is now I'm going to, instead of me turning this in, I'm going to give it to them. I'm going to give them the reimbursement form. I've also created a super bill, which I think it's at home, but I can share it with anybody who wants to see what it looks like. But anyway, what I did is I created a super bill. I put in the service that I did, the code number that I did. I give them the reimbursement form and they send it to their insurance. And I let them know that the fee that they might get back may not be the same amount that my service was, but that is my fee. And if they're okay with it, we could get started. So that's what I let them know. I go, hey, you know what? I know my fee might be a little bit different from the amount that you're going to get back, but that is my fee. Would you still like to continue today? And if they don't want to do it, most of the time I have no problem. Everybody's like, I'll pay 125. I'll pay 145. I have no problem. I charge up to 250, whatever. They want to pay it because they already went to the dentist. The dentist hit them over the head with these astronomical prices. And then I let them know what's included. I give them a new toothbrush. I give them a goodie bag. I'll do fluoride if they need it. I'm going to do any of the little extras just to really build in the experience. So that's how I feel like mostly a lot of my success is collecting the finances up front. Do not let these insurances boggle you down because they will halt you right in your tracks because you're going to feel like lost and it's going to take you 6 to 8 weeks to get paid. And then you're going to get a denial letter in the mail and you're like, is this worth it? It is worth it, but it is worth it if you do business correctly. And I'd say be fee for service. There's so many cash patients, they're willing to pay. I'm going to tell you a quick story. Had a patient not so long ago, but this guy, he's on the reserve. He's an Indian, right? He went to the dentist, and I don't know, they're charging him maybe $1,500, $1,600 for his cleaning. He did need a little bit of a more detailed cleaning, you guys. He looks like three or fours. He needed a good cleaning. He was like 32 years old. He didn't have no mobility, but he had a lot of heavy calculus. He's a tobacco chewer, smoker. He found me, one of his friends, somebody told me. I do get a lot of my patients that way, a lot of word of mouth. A lot of people find me. I come down here and I'm just about to tell him, I'm thinking in my head, because I do have a set, kind of like a flexible, like a rate for, like, okay, if I'm going to do a deep cleaning today, at least it's going to be around 350. Or I'm thinking in my head. So after doing his evaluation, doing his probing, I'm about to tell him the kind of cleaning that I'm feeling that he needs. I'm about to tell him the price, my price range, and he says, "Can you take $700? Will you take that?" Oh, yes, I can take 700. That I will definitely do this. I will do this deal for you, because 1,500, that was a lot of money for him. I am talking about finances a little bit so that you guys can understand this is a business, right? You need to get paid. So there you go. One person, 700. I would have to work 8 hours somewhere plus a day and a half to make $700 in an hour. Okay. So there is a lot of money to be made. You have the flexibility, you have the overhead. So a lot of my overhead is, and let me know if I'm going off. I want to make sure that I'm kind of, staying in it.
You're doing good. I think I know we're trying to pack in a lot in an hour and trying to hit a lot of the questions.
This is why dentists write us off a lot of the time. I couldn't believe how much of hygiene was written off. And I'm like, oh my God, I did that service and you guys didn't get paid for it. Like, that makes me feel bad. But the thing is that we're not even trained to learn the business side of dentistry. And so it really always puts us in this awkward position. Like, well, am I here just to be a clinician? But you should understand numbers, because, well, one, obviously, like, patients, it is a business, especially if you want to go out on your own and start making money. You do have to really understand that it is a business, and you can be both. You can be an ethical, great clinician, and you can also get paid for the service that you rendered. That's just the name of the game. And once you understand what that's like and how much that you should be charging, it's great business. It's a wonderful business. So that's why the dentists, sometimes I don't even know if they really understand, because they're busy writing us off. They're like, oh, it was only $45. You see, because that Aetna only paid 45. I got paid 125 that day. So I don't know what he's talking about. But anyway, so that is a huge, big thing. Is you get into business, you have your license, you have your malpractice now, you have your you go to your city, you make sure that you can work in that area, you get your city license, you make sure you're zoned. If you want to work in an office like mine that's designated for beauty, I can have a nurse in here. This office is zoned for multiple professions. If you want an office like that, you can so gladly do it, especially in Colorado. Here, I have to do all these other hoops and pay all these extra things, but I did make it happen. Okay, so let me make sure I go back to the list here. Otherwise, I don't know, I might go on a tangent on something that I found wasn't. And just leaving off on that, and a lot of people ask, like, oh, do you make the same, or do you make, like, why when I could just go clock in? I'm gonna tell you guys, like, the first few years, yeah, I made about the same as I would, but a few things. Take this number into account, right? So if I go to the mobile home and say my rate is 250, right? For me to go to you, bring everything to you and clean your teeth and everything, say, just hypothetically, that's my rate. It's 200, it's 250. And then I get there, and then someone else is like, well, I want my husband's teeth clean. He's in a bed too. If I see three people, I already made over 700. So that happens sometimes. And I now have contracts with senior livings. I show up, I see three or four people. I made my 800, 900, maybe even $1,000, and I'm done for the day, right? I had time to go do yoga. I had time to pick up my kids. It's not just about, even, the financials. It's my freedom. For me, I like the flexibility. I usually work 11 to 3. Those are the times I usually take lunch around 2 o'clock. I go pick up my high schooler, and then I do homeschool my she's about to be in second grade, but I homeschool too. It's because she's a little hyperactive. Okay, so I was sick of running around getting to pick her up. I was like, we're gonna homeschool. She's a little special. It's okay. But the thing is I have to be present in my children's life, and there's no amount of money that you can pay me in an office to give me this freedom. It's priceless. Being able to go on vacation, I don't know, maybe some of you follow me. I took my husband to Lisbon for his birthday. We spent 6 days. I'm not putting no time in. No one's out telling me when I'm going to show up, when I'm coming back. I come back when I want to. So the most important thing too is like, for me to get out there, how do I find patients, right? You're like, how do I find patients? A lot of people do find me. I am blessed enough to have a husband that is a graphic designer, and he also is a web builder. He did build my website, and he built it very, very well with these SEOs. Like I have find people emailing me around the clock. So a lot of people find me off of my website, and then they message me, send me a message, they book it. I do have a booking fee. It's $10. They book it, they come in. Otherwise, that's my time. I come down. So I work by appointment only. That's how I'm able to do it. I put my schedule, I block my time, people see the slot and they do it. And that's it. That's how it goes. And then I'm very, very active in my community. I go to community centers. I go to the pregnancy resource center. I go to high schools, I go to colleges, I go to alcohol anonymous homes. I am everywhere. And it's a good thing. I'm bringing them toothbrushes. I'm just spreading the word about hygiene. A lot of people didn't even know. I have a patient, I don't even know how she found me. I have a patient from Germany. I don't know. She typed in independent hygienist and she was like, yeah, I knew you guys had these here. I wanted to see all my teeth clean like by a hygienist, and I don't like the dentist down the street. I had a blind lady from Canada. She came in. She was visiting her son because he's having his resident at Loma Linda. And she's all, hygienists are independent in Canada. I've always had my teeth clean. So these people, they're gonna find you and they want to be seen, right? So it's having that availability. But those were some of the questions like, well, how do you find patients? I am out in my community. So that's how a lot of people come in. They find me. Yeah. And then real quickly, and because you guys are in Colorado, you guys can do teeth whitening. A lot of people come in. So in the state of California, you cannot do teeth whitening as a dental hygienist, but you can be a business owner and you can partner with a teeth whitening tech, or I can talk to you later and give you the legal setup on how to legally do it in the state of California. But in Colorado, you don't need to do that extra hoop as well. Now, because I have a separate entity business that I am collaborating with that does teeth whitening, all these people that come in that need teeth whitening, guess what they need? A cleaning. They need a cleaning. That's right. Everybody needs a cleaning. So they get sent right over to my chair. Everybody and their mom, everybody's getting clean. Then they can go
But
back
I
and
just love the like double, I call it a double dip, but it really
yes.
is
Mm-hmm.
savvy business mindset. There's
Yeah.
so many adjunct therapies that can happen within all of our states that create income. And really, when you own your own business, you can be so super creative. Like, I mean, it's amazing how Sade has a building, and she has built these individual rooms to be able to offset costs and of course increase her income
Yes.
without having extra responsibilities, because the other hygienists are that's their company that they're running.
Yes. So speaking of that, now I'm in the third hygiene room. So yes, we have three hygiene rooms and they all have their own style. This girl, she's very cutesy girl. She loves purple. I did provide the chair and obviously I provide the equipment, but she does her own colors. She loves everything purple. She also really loves showing her patients their mouth on a 75-inch screen TV. Hey, to each his own. I was going to give her my other TV, but she's like, no, I want this TV. And that's the great thing about hygiene. Look at all of our rooms are so separate. Nobody's the boss. Nobody's telling anybody nothing. You come in, this is your space. You do what you want. So that's another thing that I would say is that you need to partner up. We're stronger together. Why are you going out doing everything on your own? And then she's going out doing everything on your own when you can be together under the same roof. We're a sisterhood and brotherhood. Okay, there's a few of us, right? Some boys, yes, though they are part of the two. But I just want you to know, you do so much better. We're together. I'm already 39. Okay, I can't believe it. But some of these girls are quite a bit younger than me, and they've got lots of energy, and there's just enough plaque to go around. Some of my patients I've seen for many years, they want to come at 7 a.m. I'm done with that. Okay, I need to have my coffee. I need to go for a quick walk. And you know what? I text my girls. I have my group text. I go, hey, who wants to see George? Yeah, he pays 140 or whatever. Who wants to see him? somebody's on it. They want to get it because they want to come early. They want to be here from 7, 8, 9. They want to make their quick 600. They want to be done with the day. There's one girl I see her here at 7 p.m. That is her prerogative. She likes to help people that come from after work. So that's the thing. You can work how you want, when you want. That's it. It's the freedom. So if best thing I could tell you, if you want to know when you're, what is this business all about? When you're in Colorado? Well, what's the difference? Well, you're not sitting there for 8 hours. Somebody micromanaging you, unless you love it, unless you just want to do that. Me personally, I don't. I honestly, I just want to be on the beach. You know what? There's just enough plaque to go around. I say that all the time. What do I look like cleaning 100 teeth all the time? No, I just need to see 3 or 4 patients and I'm done. Once you figure out what's your worth and how much you want to make in a day, you can calculate that. You have someone, you put them on the schedule, 250, that's 500. I do a perio maintenance, another 130, whatever. I'm okay with that. I don't need to make, if I was, when I was younger, a little bit more hustler, but I'm hustling enough. These girls pay me the least. They come and go. They do what they want. They hustle. They make their own money. I make mine. We're good. I'm comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So, teamwork is so important. We should be having hygiene only practices like everywhere that you can. If you can exercise your rights, you need to do it. And that's why I do it. This, anyway, this is our like little snack area. I need to put better snacks in here for my girlies. And then here is the sterilization area. There's our sterilizing stuff. So lots of stuff to do. Mind you, like we moved in last year. I built this from the ground up. When I first started off on my first office, I invested like $10,000-15,000 to get it going. Because it was a whole room. I did invest in this building 50,000. I'm gonna be honest, but you can start slow. You start small, okay? You get your little portable unit, you get all the instruments that you want. You don't need to go big overnight. You start small. You get the small room. My first room, I think my lease was like $600. So, I could pay that. I did two cleanings, 3 cleanings. I already paid it. The rest of the money for the month was mine. So then I got a bigger space and then I moved to this space. I did this for the, if you think about it, at the end of the day, I could have stayed 3 doors down in my little bubble by myself. It was a $900 lease. I just have to worry about myself. But when these hygienists started coming at me like, well, where do we go? Where do we work? What should we do? And I'm like, I already have everything. I already designated the area. I already have the internet, the music, or everything you need. Why don't we just work together? So I invested in them. I did this for the profession. I can just be sitting, I could be doing what I want, but I did this because we need it. We just need you guys to do this. Like, I don't want this perfect. Like, do you know why I do this? Because I have patients that come in. I had a patient that came in. She just went to the dentist and she came in to do a whitening. And the technician's like, oh, maybe you should see hygienists. There's like a lot of black calculus. Sends her to my chair and I'm taking intraorals. I do have an intraoral I do love. I love the intraoral. So I do use my intraoral camera a lot. I do have a sensor. I do take x-rays, like I said, if need be, but I'm just letting you know. So anyway, I'm taking these pictures and then I'm showing her all this black calculus. And she's like, my dentist just cleaned my teeth 2 weeks ago. How did he miss all that? And I'm not saying that hygienists don't miss stuff. I'm just saying that's why, oh my God, I was like, thank God I'm here. And I have the autonomy to be able to render the service to someone who needed it. How long is she gonna walk around with that black calculus? She just saw the dentist. So that's what I mean, guys. Every time someone says, thank you so much, you did such an amazing job, it's like, that's why we do it. So we have to, use we have to exercise our rights because people need it. They're out there walking around with black calculus just seeing the dentist. What the heck? So anyway, that's why I do what I do because these patients, they're just so happy after they see me, and my girls, they get to shine and look, put that little fake olive tree in the room. That's what makes me shine, letting them do these things like that. And I just was saying thank you so much for the pioneers in Colorado that you guys are doing it and had these practices. Me, I'm here to like light a fire. That's what I do. I'll light a fire under you and get you moving, get you going, and let you know that you can do it. I'm here to encourage and inspire you. I don't care where you're at, especially, okay, someone, I just want to answer New York, that's very new. And I'm so glad you guys are going to be portable, mobile, and you will have the same thing. You will work with the dentist. You'll have a collaborative relationship. Here's the states. Washington is portable and they're collaborative. Oregon, you can have a brick and mortar and you could be portable. California, you could be portable, brick and mortar. Believe it or not, Arizona, that you can be brick and mortar, but you have to own your business with the dentist percentage, but you can be brick and mortar. New Mexico, you can be brick and mortar, and you could be portable, and you do have that collaborative relationship. Colorado is number one. I don't know why you guys, I'm very excited. Come on, you guys can do this. You guys should be the hype man. So anyway, thank God for Colorado. You guys killing it over there, but let's go. Come on, get it. Let's go. And then Maine can do it too. They're over there doing it too. But the thing is to share the information. What is the point of the profession if you're not going to share it? Let me tell you why. Because if you're not going to share the information, and of course, if you have your tidbits, you want to, this is you, this is your style. The thing is, it's collaborative. Think about the dentist. You know what I mean? Like you see them, they're doing this together, they're doing that. Hygienists, you have to be together. We stand united, because if not, the profession, they think, these little girls, they just want to do whatever. This is a hobby. This is not a hobby. This is my business. You know what? I've barely cleared for the first time over 200,000. So this is not a little business, okay? So they'll probably be kind of sad if they see my accounts. But the point is this: is that you can do it. You can be successful. You can share information. You can partner up. You can have a great, fulfilled life. Is short. Get out there, live your best life. Hygiene can shine, but we shine together. That's what I took from the nurse practitioners. They fought really, really hard and they did it unified.
So the first question's from Mary. Where did you send the information that there was a shortage? The State Board of Dentistry or somewhere else?
So I sent it to the Dental Board of California. I sent it to the Dental Hygiene Board of California. That's where I sent it. And then you can find the information. Actually, if you guys want to email me more easier, afterwards, is there a way to send everybody my email? Or
I am going to do a formal contact information sheet to
what's the
everyone
website?
that's here so that you guys can ask questions to whomever you want. So that you're more than welcome to inbox me about all things Colorado, because if I don't know the answer to that, I definitely have the resources to be able to get you the answer. And then if obviously Sade is there for any California questions. This is meant to be very transparent, very open. Like, we are here to uplift you to be able to take those next steps if that's what you want to do, so you don't feel alone, you don't feel scared, and of course have someone to reach out with questions. Opening a business is scary. There's no guarantee of success, but just knowing that there's someone to turn to and ask questions, that's what we're here for. I saw in the chat a couple of the independent hygienists that are on here kind of collaborating already. Please do reach out. That's what we should be doing.
That's what this was for tonight, really, because if you didn't know that there was an independent person, you know how many times people even write me from different states and they're like, oh, I didn't even know this was going on, or I didn't even know there was a person that was doing this for 10 years in my state. I'm like, oh, okay, so now you guys can connect, right? And there is no silly questions. I'm an open book. Any question, go ahead and ask me. They can, if they want to unmute, if anybody wants to put their hands up, or I just want to make sure, or if you
Well,
said
let me
there's,
make sure that we answer these questions in the thing.
got you.
I like had
Okay.
to yell at Lacey a little bit because she's
Okay,
like,
got you,
thanks
got
for
you.
doing. She's like, I'm 53. Is it too late? Girl, it's never too late for nothing.
Never.
Like, come
Man,
on.
if
It's,
you're
it's
53, you're younger than J-Lo.
yeah, I mean, look at JLo. She is shaking that thing
56.
everywhere.
Okay,
And Gwen
so
Stefani and all of them. It is not too late. You get
never.
to decide how you want to make your exit from your career. And if that's as a business owner and you make it successful, guess what? You get to sell that to someone else that has that dream. So age
Heck
does not
yeah.
matter. All right, next one. Does Colorado require a bachelor's degree? No, we do not. If you are a hygienist, you're a hygienist and you're able to go on your way. Is your practice fee for service, which you did answer that already, only, or do you use your NPI for Medicaid insurance companies?
I do. I use an MPI. I do take the Medi-Cal, but I'm going to tell you that's a very, very long process. And I can break that down another day, but basically it does take a long time to get paid from them. But those are the only patients that I do. I do take their, like, I don't charge them the first visit. So, but their second visit, right, their cleaning is out of the covered, and that's where they can pay. They can't pay for the first one if it's covered benefit, but if it falls out of it, like out of the routine, and there's somebody, you have to check their insurance. You have to check ahead of time, because they could have went somewhere and then the dentist already charged it out. So Medi-Cal patients, we do have to treat a little bit different. And yes, I do take them. And yes, you do have to provide your MPI. But I'm mostly fee for service, and then I give the reimbursement forms to everybody who has insurance.
So these next two questions, I think these are Colorado girlies because you guys have a very different process in California. So the two questions are, how do you discuss bone loss with patients without x-rays? And then how are you doing SRP if you are not doing x-rays? So from the Colorado side, we are taking x-rays in our practice because they can come to us without permission. Like we can see someone straight off the street and they go, hey, I want to see a hygienist. You need x-ray capability. You need all those things to provide care in the state of Colorado. We would be practicing blind. I'm assuming Sade gets those from the dentists that are referring to her. So those are already done for you in the
They're
chart. Is
already
that
done. And
correct?
and to be honest, I'm going to be honest, like I see people, if you take my patient that he has head surgery, brain damage, he's not getting x-rays. There's a lot of patients, they're not getting x-rays. You can still clean their teeth. You have to just work, and you have to have an open mind, especially when you're working in some of these communities, that you're got to be flexible. It's not going to
Right.
be in the office where, oh, here, where's my x-rays, I cannot see nothing. You're going to clean their teeth. That's what you're going
Right.
to do.
I want to preface, we all have the ability to do whatever business model works best for how you want to render care. And I think it's very foreign for someone who owns a practice and they're like, how are you, like, what do you mean you don't have x-rays? Well, they're
I
getting
do,
them.
and I do. I take them if I need them. I take them case by case. I'm telling you, I see autistic people. You just have to be more flexible when you're your own boss, and I have the right to be able to do the cleaning and send him to do the X-rays elsewhere. It's not You're not that blind, especially if you've been a hygienist for a long time. But if it is like a heavy SRP case, do what you got to do. You could do it.
Mhm.
hmm
Mary, she says, how many patients do you typically see per day? And you
Um,
said
I don't
11 to 2. So,
I don't usually see more than 4 to 5 max.
okay.
Yeah.
And then what software and business software do you use? I know I have 4 million questions. You're so cute, Mary.
Teledentics. I use teledentics, and that's where I do my probing. That's where I do my patient notes. That's where I was processing claims, but now my patients do it for themselves. But that's where all my patient notes, that's where everything is secure. If you're starting off and you don't have time for teledentics, you should get a little accordion, and kind of do like paper charts. And it has to be in a safe place. But I do have teledentics, and that is my software that encompasses everything. It is the cloud based, that is the protection for the patient.
And just so you guys know, I started looking at software. Software is really interesting. There are some software companies that will not work with a hygienist. It's very, very odd.
And Teledentics will give you $60 off if you use my name. I partnered with them.
Sweet.
And it's about $140 to $160 a month, but you can get $60 off using my full name. And you can email me about that too.
What does your tax situation look like? I'm not sure what that really means.
I'm itemized. So because I'm not a W-2 employee, I
Uh-huh.
can write off, and I do write off everything. I'm itemized because I'm a business owner. That's how I do my taxes. It's independent, and when I work places, do little gigs, it's a 1099. But my taxes come out really great. I could sit down. My mom is an accountant. She does help me with those things. I mean, if anybody has more of those kind of questions, but it's wonderful. You just balance things, and I have the right to balance it the way I want. I can show this amount if I need to, or show this amount if I need to. So it's great.
I think Sahara came in late. You did answer this. She did say, do we need it to have a teeth whitening license in California?
We could talk later, but you can partner with a separate entity business. You don't have a license. Okay, whitening is free for everybody to do. right? It was already passed by law. That's why everybody and their mom does it at the malls and everywhere. It was deemed safe by the law that anybody can do it. Why they will not remove it off of your license so that you can do it too, that's the dental board, and that has to do with money. So that's something that we still need to continue to fight for. But in the meantime, it is a completely separate entity, business separated from yourself completely. I cannot stress that enough. It is a separate business that you can work collaboratively with. And you can, if you want further details, you can call me or email and text me, and I can give you the full breakdown. So you could do it legally, work legally with a whitening business.
In state of Colorado, we don't have to do all that. If you want to whiten teeth, whiten them teeth. It's just trying to find a company that will sell you the equipment. Colorado Dental Hygiene Association is a super great resource. They actually have an independent hygiene tab that we are adding to the list of companies that are hygiene friendly so that you can go immediately to them and not have to go through any red tape or have a dentist on your account just because they want a dentist on your account. Some companies have sped up to the times and others have not. I feel like our money is green like everyone else, and I don't see why they wouldn't want it. But I guess if they don't want it, we want to make sure that we give it to the people that do want it. This is a fun one because I want to know this too. What are the hardest parts of your job?
You know what? You know what? It's not hard. Choose your hard. Working for a dentist is hard. Calling patients and following up. Yeah, it's a little hard to be on your own, but choose your hard. No, no, I love it. I can't complain. There's times like I had to email my patient. Oh, okay, we need to reschedule you. It's not hard to me because when I had to work for a dentist that was micromanaging and asked me silly questions. Oh, did you probe? If you ask me some silly question one more time, oh, do you know that this doesn't go in the autoclave? Like before I even did it, I'm like, I've been a hygienist for 10 years at the time. No, that's hard. I cannot do it. No, no, it's not hard. It's not hard for me to work independent. It's not hard. I love it, but I guess I have to strategize and I have to have a business plan every month. But that's exciting to me. I think it comes from my mom, the business side, the money. Like I like to see, I do 10K to 15K a month. So no, I love it.
So I
Nothing's
did
hard.
want to let everyone know I am hosting an in-person event here in Colorado. It's going to be in Parker, Colorado. Sade is actually coming to
Yay, I'm so
Colorado. And
excited.
she's going to talk with us for 3 hours. We're going to talk about business. We are going to get into the meat of everything. You're going to come back out with a blueprint. What also you're going to have is I'm going to have a panel of independent hygienists that are going to be there to be able to talk about their journey, answer questions. And then I just added a marketing expert. Some of them you might even follow her, the Relaxed Hygienist. She actually lives here. Her and her husband have a marketing company. But for Sade, what was the one marketing thing that you're like, this one worked? This
Um,
worked for me.
I would say, well, as soon as he made my website, because if you're a hygienist and you're trying to get out there, but there's not a website for a patient to find you, I check the analytics on my website, and he gives me like monthly stats, and I'm like, oh wow. I would say having someone build it. So I was thankful to have him build me a really great website that's user friendly and allows people to book with me immediately. You know what I mean? That's the difference of someone coming in or not. He made it so user friendly. They click, they add, they're in my chair the next day. So that social media, I get a lot of people off of Instagram. Believe it or not, a lot of those Gen Zs, they probably liked something they saw and they come see me. Just getting out there. But I do think you have to be out a little bit more. You have to have a website. Yelp is so. You can have some really strange people that are on Yelp, but I prefer Google. Google's really good if you have a brick and mortar, or you're okay with using, if you're portable and you're okay with putting your address, or if you have a business suite address, then Google is great at funneling people to your website. Yeah, I think you need to have a website if you have a business, you have to have a website.
Yep. That's perfect. So I did put the link in the chat. The event in Parker, Colorado is August 22nd. It is a nominal fee of $115, and we are only taking 30 people. I want it small. I want it interactive. I want everyone to be able to have their questions answered. I want people to be able to be inspired. I'm also going to have specific vendors there that work with hygienists to increase our adjunct therapy offerings. So I'm trying to get people that experts. Shade has her expertise. I've got the panelists there, the independent practice owners that are going to share their expertise. I've got marketing expertise, and then we have vendors that work with hygienists that will allow us to open an account. And those services are things that we can charge our patients to increase our value to our patient.
When it comes to like dental things, I'm ready to fight. Like when it comes to
Right.
legislative, I will be on the phone. If I have to fight with the dentist, I will do it. I'm here for you. I'm ready to support you.
I hope to fill the room with the 30 seats that are there, and
It'll be
and just
fun.
inspire everyone to be able to take a chance on themselves, because that's what it is. You're taking a chance on you, and who knows, maybe there's a partner or a buddy that is like, hey, I want to
Let's
take a
go do
chance
this.
together. So let's do this. Thank you guys so much for coming tonight. Anything else that you want to say, Sade,
Well,
before?
I just want to remind you, amazing hygienists, that you guys are all amazing. Obviously, I have to be biased because I love hygienists. I love working with them. I love collaborating with them. You guys are amazing. You're already halfway there. You can do anything you put your mind to. I just want you to know you can ask me anything, and there is no bad question. There's no wrong question. I am your friend. I am your sister. You can reach out to me for anything. I just want you to know you have that support team. That's it, really. I just hope that you left encouraged and inspired. And I'm sorry if I didn't answer every question. I will go on a tangent, but you can reach me personally, and that way I can give you the one-on-one and we can talk exclusively. You guys are amazing. Hygienists are really us. Every hygienist I meet is just such a cool person. So you know what, you guys, thank you so much for spending this evening with me. I hope you got to see a little bit. It was just a snippet, but I will see you in Colorado. We can spend a little bit more time there. And then if you're in Cali, come see me. Come check out my place. Yep.
Yeah, I need to come down there to check out your place and go to the beach for a little bit.
Yep, yep. And
Be a
when the
good
girl gets
excuse.
back, if anybody wants facials, we're gonna be doing it all over here. You know,
Oh,
my West Coast
yeah.
girls, they know how we roll over here. So, yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much.